Hi everyone, it's Nicole and I'm here with another scrapbook process video, and I kind of left in me cutting out my digital prints. It doesn't take long at all. I tend to just do it as I'm beginning a layout, and it's less than 5 minutes. Now I did have a question, whether or not the Brothers Scan and Cut was working with the digital prints. Yes, they do work, or it does work, but I found that, especially since I broke my arm, that I'm using cutting out the digital prints as almost as therapy for my arm. So I'm doing a lot of cutting, and week by week, I'm noticing that's easier and easier for me to do the things that I used to do. So it's working. Where a few weeks ago it was extremely difficult for me to cut out anything, now it seems like I'm almost back to what I used to be as far as cutting. My hand is a long ways away from being normal again. I cannot turn my hand at all. Like, my kids tease me and they call it the Lego arm, and that's because I cannot flip my hand over. But anyway, I am using cutting pattern papers as a way for me to do physio with my arm. So I don't mind cutting the digital prints out. Plus it kind of shows that they're not that hard to cut out. If less than 5 minutes every time you start a layout, you can cut your digital prints out and then go ahead with your layout. And talking about digital prints, I wanted to let you know that I'm having a winter blues sales. I don't know about you, but I am so ready for winter to be over. So I wanted to have a winter blues sales to try to get over winter and just have a kind of something good to look forward to. And everything is on for 50% right now on all my classes and digital prints. But let's talk about this page. So I had a sheet that was full of borders, so I ended up cutting two of the borders, and I'm going to put it at the top of the layout, and then there was a border of coffee beans, and I'm going to put that at the bottom of the layout. And this layout, I had taken pictures of sort of all the conveniences of life. I have my KitchenAid, my Keurig, my air fryer, and my food processor. And I just went directly on Amazon and I just typed in all those appliances, and I just sort of did a screen capture of each of the appliances, and then that way it would be easier. I wouldn't have any backgrounds, from my kitchen or anything like that. And then I went to my pick frame app and I put 2 pictures per photo. I mounted both of the photos on some red cardstock, and now I'm going to remount it on a dark brown cardstock, and the other one is a very light cardstock. It had some triangles on it. And then I took 2 pieces of the grid paper and I mounted those onto some black cardstock, and I'm going to then work on my embellishment clusters. Now, when I put pictures into this page kit, when I looked at the embellishments, there was the KitchenAid as one of the embellishments, and there was a little house. And then when I, opened this page kit to work on it that day, I saw, the Keurig, and I thought, you know what? We made some new embellishments, little embellishments that are little coffee cups. And I went into my digital stash and I cut out 2 of the coffee cups. And I really like how you can layer them. I took one coffee cup that doesn't have the sleeve on it, and then I take another coffee cup, maybe a shade darker, but it does have the sleeve. And when you layer the 2 coffee cups together, they look really cute. And one is bigger than the other. One coffee cup is one size bigger than the other. I think one is 1.5 and then the other is 1 inch. I just found they layered really nicely, and you can have a closer look when at the end of the video there's some close-up pictures, and I did a close-up of this cluster right here that I'm putting with my journaling card. These are some different appliances that we've bought over the years. The KitchenAid we bought when we moved into the house, and then the Keurig was shortly after. We bought the food processor this year and the air fryer, and it's all like little kitchen appliances that really makes my life that much easier. With the KitchenAid, I found that especially since I broke my arm, that stirring stuff is really difficult. So the KitchenAid has come in very handy. And the Keurig, well, every morning you got to have that cup of coffee. So what we did was there's a little cup that you can buy inside, and then you can use your own ground coffee so that you don't buy those little pods, because I found that those were very wasteful. So now we just grind our own coffee and we do it that way. So I wanted to work on my title, and the title is just going to be Makes Life Easier. And I'm going to take our tiny letters, and I'm going to take a couple of minutes, and I'm just going to cut out all the letters that I need. And what I do is I place them on some wax paper and then see where I could fit them on my layout where it would look good, and then I put it directly on the layout. I think some facts that would be really interesting to put on these pages, is to put the type of, tiny appliance that they are, and then put the price tag next to it. And then years from now, when people look at this, they can say, oh, KitchenAid at that time was, $500, and now it's something you can get for, I don't know, $100. Let's say if it went down in price quite a bit, just to see the difference in price. And the same as gas prices. It's interesting to see how the gas prices fluctuate. So stay tuned for close-ups of the layout, but I'd like to say a special thank you to my new patrons, Mary Beth Cully, Bronze, Sandra Buchanan, Bronze. And again, I just want to remind you that right now I'm having my Winter Blues sale, 50% off on everything in my store. And I want to thank you so much for watching. Bye.